The governor is now responding to our latest I-Team investigation, why he says your tax dollars are paying for a special advisor. Coming up.
Also ahead, working to prevent flooding in the Naugatuck Valley, how cities and towns are joining forces to improve infrastructure.
And temperatures going to be trending milder where they peak before dropping a bit as we head into the weekend. And speaking of the weekend, we do have the chance for some showers when those could move through ahead in the first alert forecast.
Now, Channel 3 Eyewitness News begins with breaking news.
First up at 6, conservative activist Charlie Kirk dead at the age of 31, shot and killed this afternoon in Utah. Thanks for joining us here at 6, everyone. I'm Stephanie Simoni.
And good evening, I'm Erin Connolly. Kirk was speaking at Utah Valley University when a shot rang out and hit Kirk in the neck. He was rushed to the hospital where he died. At this hour, police continue to search for the gunman. Eyewitnesses at the event spoke about what they saw.
All of a sudden I hear up top, I just saw him grab, it looked like his neck, and there's just blood pouring out everywhere, and his eyes kind of rolled back.
Kirk was a rising star in conservative politics and a fierce ally of President Trump. He was the CEO and co-founder of the conservative youth organization Turning Point USA. Today was Kirk's first stop on a 14-stop American comeback tour. And reactions to this political violence are pouring in locally. Connecticut Democrats strongly condemn the shooting of Charlie Kirk. We are living in toxic and terrifying times, but we can and we must find ways to solve our disagreements peacefully. Guns have no place in political discourse.
Of course, we'll continue to follow developments as they unfold on this investigation, and you can get that new breaking information anytime on the WFSB app. The I-Team continues to work to get answers about the new role for the former chancellor of the state's colleges and university system. Terrence Chang now getting paid more than $400,000 a year as a special advisor to the board.
And today we took our questions about this position straight to the governor. Your consumer investigative reporter Cassidy Williams has been on top of this from the beginning. She is joining us now with the very latest. Cassidy.
Well, Chang is one of the highest paid state employees, and this all started because we simply
60s at the shoreline. By lunchtime, we're up in the 70-75 degree range. Then tomorrow afternoon, some towns could actually reach or exceed the 80-degree mark, and then we trend cooler Friday. We'll have much more as well on the upcoming weekend that features a dry start that could end with some showers. That's ahead in the First Alert 7-day.
If the culvert was designed 50 years ago, we know that because of climate change, it's a very different story now with how much rain we get.
Cities and towns in the Naugatuck Valley are discussing plans to improve drainage infrastructure and prevent flooding. The region, as you know, was devastated by historic flooding last August. Your reporter Owen Kingsley joins us live from Waterbury, where one of several meetings this week are being held to show off their new designs to the public. Owen.
Yeah, that's right. Right behind me, actually, inside the Leavenworth Professional Center. That second meeting of the week is getting underway right now. Now, this has been 3 years of work in the making to better prevent flooding across this region. And last summer, a reminder of just how destructive Mother Nature can be.
Right now we have a lot of culverts and drainage systems that are undersized. So when it floods, we get water all over the place where we don't want it.
A problem that officials with the Naugatuck Valley Council of Governments say is getting worse. This week, a series of meetings are unveiling improvements to this infrastructure.
So if the culvert was designed 50 years ago, we know that because of climate change, it's a very different story now with how much rain we get.
I think that we have to get it done. You know, we have an undersized culvert here, and what happens, at least twice a year, this floods out. We've actually flooded out our fire department.
Go back to that flooding more than a year ago. What did this area look like?
Well, you would have been up to your knees in water right here.
These projects will cost millions of dollars and will need to rely on both local and federal funding. When these plans were first kicked off in 2022, the likelihood for federal funding from sources like the American Rescue Plan Act seemed greater. In the Trump administration, O'Neill explains there's less available funding for projects like this.
I think everyone was looking at all that federal infrastructure money and saying, wow, we could make this pipeline of projects that are ready to apply for those. With the changes, it becomes a little less certain, but we still do have for each project a list of different grant programs that are eligible to apply for.
Yeah, I'm going to support, obviously, the NDCOG, work with them directly to make sure that we get the funding intact and we can proceed with the project.
Tonight's meeting is revealing project designs for flood-prone areas for here in Waterbury, as well as Thomaston, Wolcott, and Middlebury. Tomorrow night's meeting is going to be held in Oxford, as well as presenting project designs for the towns of Seymour and Naugatuck. Your reporter live in Waterbury, I'm Owen Kingsley, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Thank you. Connecticut and the federal government are not on the same page when it comes to COVID vaccine recommendations. The CDC just removed pregnant women and children under the age of 2 from the list of patients they recommend getting the COVID vaccine. State leaders are pushing back on that today, saying they should receive 1 dose each. Connecticut's Department of Public Health says its guidance is based on evidence from experts with 3 medical organizations.
Shouldn't be driven by politicians. It should be driven by your doctor. You know, it's between you and your doctor. Your doctor knows your health, what what health issues you may have, and based on that, you make a decision with your doctor.
The Department of Public Health is recommending children older than 6 months and all adults receive the vaccine.
Turn it down. That is the message from one New Haven neighborhood dealing with loud late-night parties now that Yale is back in session. People who live in the area of Lake Place and Bristol Street have been speaking out. They say students have been partying throughout the day. There are a number of off-campus homes right in that area.
There's a noise ordinance. By 10 o'clock, there should be not supposed to be large parties, but they party until they feel like it.
Officials say they can issue citations for noise ordinance violations. They're asking students to be respectful of their neighbors.
Now at 6, that daily commute in our state could soon become a little less frustrating for many drivers. Today, the Department of Transportation announced an increase in town road aid for the first time in more than 10 years. That means more state funds are coming to help your town's transportation needs. That comes to a 33% increase in town road aid.
Good news for Pratt & Whitney tonight. The East Hartford-based company has been awarded an $11 million contract from the Department of Defense.
Pratt & Whitney has been awarded the contract to work on F-100 and F-15 and 16 fighter jets. Senator Richard Blumenthal had this to say, saying in part, quote, Pratt's jet engines are world-class, and every contract from the Department of Defense is a vote of confidence for Connecticut-made manufacturing. The Yukon Athletic Department is launching a new state tax credit program. If you make contributions to Yukon Athletics, you could be qualified for state tax credits.
They can be applied to individual income taxes, corporate business taxes, and various industry-specific taxes. The credit can equal up to 50% of qualifying payments.
The dogs and the puppies just bring a calming aspect to the facility.
Up next at 6, oh, how cute. A new puppy program is now underway at a correctional institute.
It's the ears. That's what gets you, right?
Adorable.
So sweet. How inmates and puppies are working to help disabled veterans in our state.
Bright cloud cover on its way out, setting the stage for some bright skies for the end of the week, when you may have to trade the sunglasses for the umbrella over the weekend. That's ahead of the First Alert forecast when Eyewitness News at 6 continues.
Welcome back. Right now, a new program is starting at the Corrigan Correctional Center in Montville. 3 dogs are now living in the prison and being trained by inmates to one day help veterans with disabilities live a more fulfilled life.
And your reporter Taylor Knight was there as those incarcerated individuals met the dogs they will train for the first time.
This is Marcus Gonzalez's first time ever holding a puppy.
It's amazing.
Gonzalez is incarcerated at Corrigan Correctional Center in Montville. And starting today, this puppy will be living with him 24 hours a day, Monday through Friday, for about the next 15 months.
Oh, he's a sweetheart.
This is all part of the partnership between the state's Department of Corrections and America's Vet Dogs. Tom, Scout, and Ramapo will be trained to one day go on to be service dogs for a disabled veteran in need.
I have somebody in my family that's a veteran that had a service animal that sadly passed away last year, so I understood what it did for him. I saw the benefit of having one, and I always wanted to be a part of that.
Marquis Nunn is one of the individuals at the correctional center that will train the dogs, teaching them basic obedience like sit and stay.
Thank you so much.
And other tasks that will specifically help a veteran with a disability.
Retrieving objects off the floor for somebody who perhaps is physically incapable of doing so, pulling open doors and drawers, tugging things as well, and then a lot of exercises for non-visible disabilities, people with PTSD or traumatic brain injuries.
The inmate handler's disciplinary and violence history, as well as their alcohol and drug scores, were all considered to make sure the dogs are going to the right individuals.
I think a lot of people will look at this and say, wow, it has to live in a prison. And in reality, these dogs really are social companions and really like to be with people all day long.
Warden Daniel Doherty oversaw this program at McDougall Correctional Institute and witnessed how it benefited the entire facility.
The units tend to be more relaxed, more calm. It's the dogs and the puppies just bring a calming aspect to the facility.
For the inmates that are actively participating, it's going to give them a sense of pride, something that they're accomplishing. It's a huge accomplishment. It's a lot of work.
Both Gonzalez and Nunn say they are ready for this life-changing challenge ahead.
It's going to be a joyful journey to help others in need, and that way we can pay for our crimes.
A lot of work, a lot of cleaning up, but I'm willing to do it and I'm ready.
Your reporter in Montville, Taylor Knight, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Now, the dogs will stay with the inmates during the week, but they do go home on the weekends to learn other skills and socialize. America's Vet Dogs is looking for weekend puppy raisers. You can find a link to volunteer for that on our website, WFSB.com.
Well, we are 10 days or 1/3 of the way now through the month of September, and from Bridgeport to Hartford Bradley Airport, where the official records are maintained, we are running wetter and cooler than normal. So the above average precip bodes well for our situation here that you see on the drought monitor. This does not include the rain that we had last Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We get an update tomorrow morning, so we'll of course be bringing you that as it is issued. With regard to temperatures for the Hartford area, these are highs. We started the month on a cool note. Only 3 days, last Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we have high temperatures above average. Since then, back below average. We are going to trend briefly milder tomorrow and then cooler as we head into our Friday. So brighter, warmer weather tomorrow. The weekend, at one point, looked dry from beginning to end. Now it looks like we could have some showers, at least the possibility of them on Sunday. By no means a washout. You can see the model comparison, the American model, the European model. We're looking at a snapshot of Sunday morning around 9 o'clock, showing at least the chance for some showers. So we'll be watching that. Certainly a time frame of interest, and some of those showers from Sunday could linger into Monday. Otherwise, with regard to those fall allergies, the ragweed and grasses in the low category over the next 3 days. Our iCam view from Hartford showing the cloud cover breaking up, giving way to a clearer sky as the evening moves forward in time. 74 in our capital city. Looking live from New Haven, you can see the shadows there growing on the green, mainly clear overhead. Great visibility with a sleeping giant there off in the distance. 76, a north-northeast wind right now sustained at 12 miles an hour. That wind direction is thanks to this offshore area of low pressure that's going to be lifting up toward the Canadian Maritimes. On the back side of that, the cloud cover, the back edge of it, going to be working from west to east here across Connecticut as we head through the next several hours. So high pressure basically deflected any sort of wet weather, and even the cloud cover today. We turned out a bit brighter this afternoon, therefore temperatures were a bit higher. And then we've got this cold front currently moving through the Great Lakes. It's going to be swinging in our direction tomorrow, but at the same time basically falling apart. So for tonight, temperatures bottom out in the 45 to 50 degree range inland, 50 to 55 along the shoreline. And first alert futurecast tomorrow, plenty of sunshine to start, plenty of sunshine through, say, mid-afternoon. And here comes that cold front. With it, only some scattered clouds. So otherwise passing dry. Temps tomorrow, 75 to 80 inland, upper 70s, low 80s along the 95 corridor with that offshore component to the wind. So cooler air lags behind. We'll feel that cooler air as we close out the week on Friday. Tomorrow, we've got the Four-Town Fair, the Berlin Fair that kick off. Temps that, say, 5 o'clock in the mid-70s drop into the 60s as we head toward and past sunset. But we remain dry, so great weather wherever your Thursday evening plans may take you. Friday, ample sunshine, the big blue H, high pressure builds all across New England. So if you're perhaps heading to a local fair or perhaps to the Big E that begins on Friday, gates open at 8 o'clock. Temperatures go from the 60s into the 70s, back into the 60s after sunset. So on our first alert 7-day forecast, as we make our way into the upcoming weekend, mid 70s on Saturday, mostly sunny. We've got that chance for a couple showers on Sunday. Again, not a washout. Some of those showers could linger into Monday. Next week, Tuesday, a mix of sun and clouds, mid and upper 70s. And at least as of now, a week from today, we've got Connecticut Day at the Big E. We're looking good locally here in Connecticut and, of course, up in West Springfield as temperatures top out near 80.
Mark, thank you very much. All new at 6 o'clock, the city of Hartford received a multi-million-dollar investment that'll go towards arts and culture.
The total investment will come out to $6 million. Over the next 2 years, the Hartford Foundation will lead a new initiative that will help to launch the next century of creativity in the capital city. And stay with us. We'll be right back.
We are looking good, but in the meantime, Friday night football, local fairs this weekend. We are good to go weather-wise.
It's a great time of the year.
Yes, not bad at all. So normal highs in the upper 70s, so nothing too extreme over the next 5 to 7 days.
All right, Mark, thank you. And thank you so much for watching us here on Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 6.
Have a great night, everyone. More news coming your way at 7 and 11. Take care.